So we asked this question last night, okay? And I want your answer on this, Fana. You can only pick one of these two teams, and you have to bet the mortgage on one of these two teams to have a better season, whatever it ends up being, better position in the SEC, better run in the tournament, however you want to phrase it. You have to bet your entire mortgage on one of these two teams, Alabama or Kentucky. Where do you stand right now?
It's Alabama because of how they played Saturday night and because of the fact that they defended. And I trust a team that made it all the way to the Final Four last year to get back there again, especially if that version of them shows up. One of the bigger things that we talked about on our New Year's resolution show was that Alabama brought in Cliff Amore for a reason. Start to use him. Just because it's not sexy doesn't mean you don't have to use him. They got him active early and often on Saturday night against Oklahoma, and it caused problems. LeBaron Philon has turned into a really key piece to this whole equation. Mark Sears is a beast. Grant Nelson is a really good player. And Nate Oates has proven that he can win in the NCAA tournament. So when I look at the Crimson Tide and I see the sheer depth of options, that team defensively took time last year to finally figure it out. They're starting to now. Remember, Chris Youngblood, it takes time to work your way back from an injury. He still hasn't even given us the best of Chris Youngblood. They've got depth like Kentucky, but they've got the experience and the edge. And they have an All-American. Kentucky's got a lot of great players. But if we were to do a draft between the two teams, you're telling me you're not taking Mark Sears before everybody else? Come on now. Let's get real. Come on. Alabama's got the best player of the two teams.
Yeah, but he's also going into the best defensive player at his position in college basketball with Lamont Butler. I'm just
head-to-head.
Huh?
They're not playing each other head-to-head.
Oh, well, I'm looking at the date when they do play each other head-to-head, and that's January 18th in Rupp, which is going to be awesome. I'm looking at it head-to-head.
Kentucky will win that game, potentially, and my argument still won't change.
Yeah. I think they can both make a Final Four.
Well, that wasn't the question.
Yeah, that wasn't the question, T.O. Come on,
I have to pick one or the other. I
think that too. But
I think Kentucky, and the reason being is because they clean up the defensive glass. They might be able to hold off Alabama. Just for the sake of argument. Two great teams. Just for the sake of argument, Kentucky. And I think that they have the pieces around the perimeter that can guard. I think they have a 5-man that can really protect the rim in Amari Williams. And I honestly think I'm shocked at how well Lamont Butler's been playing. Shocked, especially offensively. We know what he was defensively. I don't know what kind of light switch was flipped. I don't know what happened, but he has been incredible. I would go Kentucky because Alabama, they shoot a lot of threes. They don't necessarily shoot a ton of great percentage. And we talked about this last night, John, on After Dark. Like, they get 38% of their offense of their misses. 38% of their misses. Good for 14th in the country, Alabama. Kentucky's going to take care of the defensive glass. They're really good on the defensive glass. So that's what's going to be the key to that game when they play head-to-head. That would be my argument. If I had to pick one right now, I would probably lean more Kentucky because I just love the pieces.
Yeah, it's a tough one, right? Like, I think that Kentucky is a little bit more of a finished product, and as weird as it sounds, I think Alabama is something that has proven to be a little bit better defensively so far. We talked about this last night, T.O., and I'm gonna reiterate this stat. Alabama shoots 50% of their field goal attempts from three. They shoot 31.6% from three, good for 250th in the country. And that number is significantly lower once you factor out Latrell Wrightsell shooting 40 whatever percent and him being done for the year. Mark Sears shoots 33% from three. Grant Nelson, 29%. LeBaron Philon, 28%. Darian Reed, 28%. Aiden Sherrill, 16% from three. Jaron Stevenson is 9 for 43 on the season from beyond the arc. Chris Youngblood is still shooting just 24%. I struggle between saying, look, if they're going to keep shooting that many threes, like Nate has to see something in practice to make him believe, like, okay, just get him up, shoot him up, we'll sleep in the streets, right? But at the same time, it's got to course correct at some point, right? Or is that just something where You spread it out, you get enough up, you have enough guys that are going to go get offensive rebounds, and you just kind of figure it out because there's nobody at the rim to stop you. I don't know. I'm torn on how I feel on it.
Like last night, like I would be really intrigued to see what percentage of possessions they score on as opposed to what their 3-point shooting percentage is.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, I think that could also be a big thing because if they're getting 38% of their offense of their misses, like, and they're number 1 in the country in 2-point field goal percentage at 63%, they're scoring on a lot of those possessions because their offensive rebounding, they're dunking it right away. So, like, I'm curious to see like what that number would be.
How about the end of their schedule? You ready for this? Starting the day after Valentine's Day, the last 7 games for Alabama. This is how it goes: Auburn at home, at Missouri, Kentucky at home, Mississippi State at home, at Tennessee, Florida at home, at Auburn. Good luck,
Murder's
man.
row.
Good luck. I feel like every team is going to have like just some part of their schedule that goes absolutely bonkers like that.
Yep.
So it's the SEC, man. It's going to be so much fun this year. Every night there's going to be a great game in that conference.